So is now a good time to buy a truck and become an owner-operator? I did have somebody reach out to me, and I think this is a great topic and an unbelievable video. There's a lot of good questions that a fan asked me, and I'd like to share it with you. Hey Ronen, been watching your YouTube channel for a while. Amazing videos, very informative. I'm a newly licensed driver. I came out of Challenger program, and I'm looking for driver opportunities. I know ET doesn't hire new guys, but I'm reaching out because I found a couple of opportunities. One of them is an owner-operator position, possibly. I have a few specific questions that only someone like you may be able to provide some valuable insight when trying to decide which way I should go. I know you're a very busy guy, but any chance we'd be able to chat, I would certainly pay you for your time. Let me know, cheers. So this fan did reach out to me, sent me this email, and I think that his questions are something that a lot of you out there are probably wondering. I did ask him if he'd like to join my YouTube channel and we'd do a live with all his questions. He was camera shy, so he sent me the email with all of his questions, and I'd love to share it and answer them here on the YouTube channel. So let's get started. Here are his questions. So question number one, is now a good time to become an owner-operator? Gas is up, used truck prices are up, interest rates are up. What is my opinion about it? Do I think that right now is a good time to convert to become an owner-operator? I actually don't think that right now is a good time to become an owner-operator. I think we're seeing a lot of changes in the industry, very volatile. The gas prices, as he mentioned, they are up. The used truck prices are up. They are starting to come down a little bit, but I don't think that it is a great time right now to jump the gun. I think that I'm more of a conservative person. I would wait it out just a little bit. I would like to see the used truck market come down. I'd like to see it come down significantly, but definitely from where it is right now. As an example, about 4 or 5 years ago, we used to sell 4 or 5-year-old units. I'm talking about the Cascadias, the Freightliners, the Volvos. We used to sell those units at about 50, 55,000, a 4 or 5-year-old unit with about 800,000 kilometers. Today we're getting about $110,000 for a 4 or 5-year-old unit. The prices are starting to come down a little bit, but it's being offset by the interest rate. So the interest rates are starting to climb. If before financing a truck, you would get maybe 6.5 with good credit, today the interest rates are probably up in the 8s and 9s. You know, if you have mediocre credit, you're probably looking at 11, 12, 13% interest rates. So because of those reasons, plus the freight rates, they are starting to come down. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the market that maybe I would just put the brakes on becoming an owner-operator just for a little bit. I'd like to see what's happening. I'd like to give it another month or two. If the prices of the used market does come back down, then you saved a lot of money from now to a couple of months from today. So give it a little bit of time. Don't jump the gun, and just wait a little bit before becoming an owner-operator. Let's see how things unfold. Question number two, if I choose the owner-operator path, what is the absolute criteria and guidelines I should be looking for when buying a used truck right now? Honestly, I think today the most important thing, hands down, would be a battery pack APU unit or a diesel APU unit. So a battery pack APU unit will cost you about $10,000 right now. I'm talking about Thermo King's battery pack and diesel pack APU units. The diesel APU unit from Thermo King will probably cost you about $15,000. That's what we use here at our fleet. Those two things will probably save you anywhere between $80 to $100 a night. You can calculate for yourself how many nights you spend inside the truck. That is the absolute most important thing today in a truck. Number two is obviously having an economical engine. I find that the Volvos, Kenworths, the next gens with the Packard engine, I find that the Freightliners with the Detroit engines, they are the more economical ones, the aerodynamic ones. I would probably stick to 2019 or 2020 if you're going to go the used route. What are the most amount of kilometers I should consider? So you'll probably see that at the dealerships. You'll probably find almost nothing at the dealerships. They're all sold out. If you can get your hands on a truck that has between 300 to 400,000 miles, that would probably be around 650,000 kilometers. That would be the sweet spot. That would be what the truck that I would choose. And the reason for that is anything under 800,000 kilometers, they probably still have some warranty left in them. If it doesn't have warranty, you can still buy aftermarket warranty, but I would like to stick to those ranges and those miles and kilometers. Should the truck be at least 2019 or newer? Yes, I find that the 19s or newer are more fuel efficient than the 17s, 18s, definitely the 16s. Stay away from the 15s and 16s. Not the greatest years. I would buy 19, 20, or 21, and the trucks that I would buy would be the Kenworth T680s, I would buy the Freightliner Cascadias, and I would buy the Volvos, the 760s. How long does a semi-truck last kilometers-wise? So we at our fleet, we usually get rid of our 4 or 5-year-old units at around the 850,000 kilometers mark, which is about, I think, 550,000 miles. And the reason for that is because our warranty expires, but I find that in the last couple of years, because of COVID, we've held on to our equipment because we couldn't find new equipment. The orders that we placed, the new ones, they didn't come, or there are constantly delays because of the logistical problems that they were having. So we have some trucks here with 900 and 1,000,000 kilometers, and we find that there is a huge difference, a big difference between trucks that have APU units on them versus trucks that don't have APU units on them. Because a truck that idles, let's say after 4 or 5 years, a truck with an APU unit versus a truck without an APU unit, you'll see a truck that has 5,000 hours without an APU unit, and you'll see a truck that has 3,000 hours with an APU unit, and the trucks will have the exact same kilometers or mileage. So we find that because they have a lot less hours, they will last a lot longer, those trucks with the battery pack or the diesel APU units. The trucks without diesel APU units, we would typically get rid of those ones first because they're more likely to cause problems after the 850,000 kilometer range, which is probably, let's get the exact number for our American fans. So yeah, so 800,000 kilometers is 500,000 miles. All right, so the next question, when financing, what interest rate would you consider acceptable right now, and what should I not go above or accept in the current market? This is a really good question. If you have good credit in today's market, you should not be paying more than 9% interest rate. I highly recommend for everybody to use our link below. So what we've done is we've kind of put under one umbrella, we've put a few companies that will bid for your business. And when you fill out the link below, that form will directly go to 4 different lenders, and then they're going to be competing for your business. So what's great about that, usually I find that at the dealership where you're buying a truck, if you use their recommended finance company, they are a lot more expensive than what you would get in the open market, and usually the dealership gets a kickback from the finance company, but at the end of the day, it's all coming out of your pocket. If you get 9%, 8%, 7.5%, those are considered really good interest in today's market if you have really good credit. If your credit is mediocre, you will be paying probably 11, 12%. But again, I highly recommend everybody to use that link below because it will save you thousands. And you know, when you get a quote, it's not like you have to go with it. Make sure that you're getting a second and third opinion when you're getting your financing. In my case, should I put down 35,000 and put 15,000 in the bank? I guess this person has a total of $50,000, and he's asking, what do we do with this $50,000? Do I put 35,000 of it as a down payment and hold 15,000? So I would definitely recommend don't put all of your money into a down payment. You really need to have a cushion, especially when you're going used. Let's say you get that truck from the dealership. One small repair for that truck could easily cost you a couple of $1,000s. If it's a major repair, it'll be $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. So I really highly cautious that you have to have money in the bank. You have to have reserves. You know, I mean, tires, 2-steer tires on that truck is gonna cost you about $1,800, $1,900. Good tires. I mean, a set of drives will probably cost you about between $3,000 to $4,000. So I highly recommend that, yes, don't put the entire $50,000 as a down payment. Make sure 35 and 15 is a good split, and keep $15,000 in the bank for a rainy day. Besides Auto Trader and Kijiji, are there other places or ways to source good used trucks? So I find lately, especially in the last year, I find that Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace is a really good place. I find it to be better than Kijiji and Auto Trader. I feel like that's more of a live market. Auto Trader will have maybe older posts. Kijiji, I don't like what goes on in Kijiji. I do use Facebook Marketplace when I sell our trailers, our used stuff. I sell them on Facebook Marketplace. I love the fact that people are messaging you and not calling you, because I always get these idiots that call me on $100,000 $100,000 truck and they say, oh, I'll give you 50,000. I just don't have time for that. Through a text message, I feel even more comfortable to tell them to fly a kite, or, you know, like, no, don't bother me, or don't waste my time. So definitely Facebook Marketplace would be another place that I would buy or sell a truck. How easy or hard is it to sell a used semi truck? So right now in today's market, it is extremely easy to sell a truck. You'll just post it on Facebook Marketplace. Literally within 24 hours, you'll have 10, 15 people. As long as you don't over exaggerate with the price, you'll see that there's going to be a lot of inquiries, a lot of garbage, but a lot of really strong inquiries for that truck. Is there a kilometer range that once you go over, it's much harder to sell the truck? So yes, the kilometer range that if you are going to sell it, try to sell it at the 850,000 kilometers, which is equivalent to 550,000 miles. Don't let it creep over that 1 million, which is 600,000 miles. I feel like that's the sweet spot. The sweet spot is 850, 900,000 kilometers, which is about 550,000 miles. So usually if you buy a truck and you're constantly in the repair shop, it's not going to get better. If I was in your case and you bought a truck and you're constantly in the repair shop, I would sell it, because guys that are in the repair shop are constantly in the repair shop. It means you got a bad truck. And you probably want to get rid of it as soon as possible. All right, so in order to wrap up this video, let's start from the beginning. Do I recommend becoming an owner-operator right now in today's market? No, I don't. I think you should hang tight, continue being a company driver. Let's see how the market unfolds in the next 3 or 4 months. But if you really, really want to become an owner-operator and you don't want to hold back, that's fine also. So if I was in the marketplace right now looking for a truck, here would be my criteria. So I would get a 2019 or newer. The ideal price that I'm looking for is about between $120,000 to $140,000 is what I would be spending, whether it's American or Canadian, it doesn't matter. That's what I would be spending on my truck. I would like to have that truck to have between 500 to 600,000 kilometers, which would be 310 to 360,000 miles. That would be my ideal range. I would like the truck to have warranty on it, still left the manufacturer warranty on it, or the extended warranty. And I would make sure that that thing has a battery pack APU unit or a diesel APU unit. If you ask me, just a simple mathematical equation, the battery pack APU unit is probably worth about $10,000 and the diesel APU unit is about $15,000. If I was to divide $10,000, even the battery pack APU unit, divided that by 48 months, you're looking at about $200 a month is what the financing is going to cost you extra on a truck that has a battery pack APU unit. Now, if you're spending $100 a night on fuel, you better believe it that it's much better to spend $200 in financing on your monthly payment over that $100 a night for every day that you're idling, plus the longevity of that truck. For monthly payments, okay, I would structure it in a way that my monthly payments do not exceed $2,800 a month. If it's a 2020 or a 2021, then I would let it creep up to about $3,200 a month. But I wouldn't go over that. The newer the truck is, the more fuel efficient it's going to be, which equates to more money in your pocket, so you'll be able to afford a higher lease payment every single month. And the interest rates, I would probably stick to about 8 to 10% with good credit. I would probably stick to about 10 to 13% if you have mediocre credit, just because the interest rates both in Canada and the US have significantly gone up in the last 3 months. And then the final question is, should I put a down payment for a Tesla or a Nikola? I think that you should hold off right now. I know that Nikola is delivering a lot of trucks right now over the next 6 months. I'd like to see the feedback from the initial customers that have the Nikola. I'm a huge believer of Nikola and of Tesla. I would like to see some feedback from customers that bought it. I'd like to see the ranges go up. So that's what scares me. If I was doing regional, or if I was buying right now a new city truck, I would definitely entertain the Nikola or the Tesla. For highway, for long haul, not quite yet. The ranges are not there. They really need to up their game on the range. We're definitely rooting for them, but I would stick to local. If you are going to get a Tesla or a Nikola, I would do more regional work with it. So a special thank you to our fan, Scott. I really appreciate you sending this email. I'm sure a lot of people have the exact same questions that you do, but you took the time to draft up that email, and therefore I took the time to put this video for you.